What's going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today we're going to talk to you about SoFi. I want to go over some of the current data points, break it down what shorts are doing, and go over everything else that you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. Starting off, SoFi is down slightly, 0.57%, but you can kind of see as of late, it is clawing its way back. So hopefully it does close green. And raise your hand if you did buy the dip today, because I did. Not necessarily the best. It would have been nice to buy at the 688. I did buy rather at the $6.90 mark. So I kind of just saw the technicals looking somewhat more optimistic, it bouncing off of that very strong support once again. So this $6.88 mark has been absolutely diamond over this last 3 trading days, if I remember correctly. So a lot of the volume being done today, though, on a side note, is linked to just actual institutions. And that's been more the case over this last month. Is just more of a reduction in algorithmic trading. I don't know if they are prioritizing GameStop, for instance, and maybe that is getting the majority of the attention from AI, but it is interesting to note. So hopefully SoFi does and is able to get above this $7 mark today, because it did have a high of $6.98. And even when it did open, this was very abnormal because this was shorts. So I'll give you an overview of what they are doing. Right now, shorts are returning 334.2 thousand shares. 17.32% of the free float is being shorted. So this little blip right here of them, obviously right here, this is shorts. So why did they return? I'm not really sure. There was a lot of fear in the broader market during, I guess, the pre-market, and that was already attributed to CPI and just the Fed's, their upcoming decision rate on Wednesday. So I kind of think that was a little bit premature, but I don't know. Maybe shorts were just trying to suppress it below that 688 mark below or during the pre-market. That failed, so this is where they kind of cut their losses, but things are looking up and up. I didn't really buy my full position back. I only bought 1,500 shares, but still nonetheless, I'm pretty happy to have bought. So hopefully it does get in excess of $7. Going over some of the other data points today, there has been no news, so it is just merely piggybacking off of the broader market. SEC, absolutely nothing, so it's kind of just, like I said, stuck in limbo. Looking over here, I'll give you a quick overview of the Elliott Wave technical. So a lot of people do generally like that. So it has a pivot point of $6.45. So for as long as SoFi is above that, then this is where it is anticipated to hit the low 8s. So not necessarily just the 7s. It seems to be over, like, skipping that and going straight to the 8s. So pretty good stuff. While I'm actually on Interactive Brokers, I'll give you a quick overview of some of the latest analyst ratings. So last one was done 4 days ago by BTIG. Didn't give a price target, just reiterated their hold/neutral rating. So I think all in all, that's kind of a good. Hopefully analysts do jump on board sooner rather than later and start giving double-digit ratings. But still, aside from that though, it's not really affecting SoFi whatsoever today. Options. So 1.52 million in calls, 789 in puts, very evenly divided as what it has been kind of the last several trading days, but 49% of all the options being done today are bearish and anticipating for it to kind of be sub, looks like around 650 over the next couple of weeks, which in my opinion is kind of extreme. Looking at the calls though, there's a lot of calls being purchased around that $7 mark. So currently there is around 25,000 at that 7. Like I've said, it usually does go up roughly around 30 to 40% just on the first trading day. So I believe it was at 18,000. So there still might be an increase in that regard. So definitely this is something that SoFi will once again have to battle with throughout the trading day, or I guess throughout the rest of the week, as long as it is able to close above 7 or at 7 on Friday. And then that would result in market makers having to go to the open market to cover those shares. And better yet, if it is able to close above 750 or 8, then even more. But still, let me know your thoughts on that. These are some of the transactions being occurred so far on the secondary market above $100,000. A couple of big buys, and even after hours yesterday seemed to be a lot of big transactions. So 4.17, and then so far today 1.49 million. So probably in the next couple of weeks you're going to see a lot more activity coming from institutions as they start to rebalance their portfolios at the end of every quarter. So again, that could really start with SoFi. And in comparison to a lot of other growth stocks, especially in this quarter, SoFi is lagged. So if they're keeping the same ratios the same, then logically they would be buying SoFi. So that's something to kind of keep in mind. But right now on the actual chart itself, so $6.96, still trading between these 2 points, so the S1 and the pivot. Right here, I'm looking at the 1 day, so a little bit stronger support and resistance points. So you'll have that $7 resistance by options and then 706. So definitely a lot more room for SoFi to go up. It just needs that nice little push, whether it be because of something SoFi specific. On a side note, they do actually have that conference that they're participating in. So that is on the 12th. So it could be maybe that or CPI / what Powell does say later on the day on Wednesday. So a lot of that could really help push SoFi back into kind of this range. So this pivot to this R1. And then once it gets above that, then it's just going to be a very easy domino effect back into the 8s. So hopefully that does happen. On the actual chart itself, lower percentile of the Bollinger Band, a very nice bullish deviation. So white line above the red. It is also at 48. So still considered neutral, no different than what I mentioned yesterday. A number of retail investors are buying the dip slightly, very, very small amount. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on SoFi. Give yourself a shout out if you were like myself and you did buy, or on the flip side, did you sell? What have you been doing? Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And with all that, appreciate all of you watching.